So this video is going to be the first in a little video mini-series. I had a lot of fun playing the Guilds of Ravnica sealed event on stream the other day, and I wanted to do it for YouTube. So I'm going to do this just like I did the previous Guilds of Ravnica draft. We're going to do one video, and that'll be today's, where I am building the deck, and then each video thereafter will be a continuation until I have completed the run. I'm going to put up all of my games, win or lose. Now the last time I did this, it backfired. I did like 3 drafts on stream and I got to 7 wins, and then I did this for YouTube and my run ended very, very quickly. And then I went and I did a sealed event and I got a 7-0 run. Now I'm going to try doing this exclusively for YouTube, which of course means it's probably going to go horribly, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to put up all of my games, win or lose, and hopefully we're going to open some good stuff, because I do like playing limited events. That's part of the reason that I'm doing these for YouTube. But I also still am building a collection. I'm still pretty new to Magic the Gathering Arena in terms of time played. And I want to build some crazy things to play in Constructed, make some wacky videos for you guys. But I need the cards to do that. So we're going to go ahead, jump into this sealed, and get in here, get started. So if you're not familiar, the sealed event is kind of like draft, but with draft you get to pick the cards that are going into your deck, but you do so out of 3 packs. Sealed is you open 6 packs and then you just build a deck out of what you get. Now when I hit open here, it's only going to show me the rares from the 6 packs, and then it'll take us to the traditional deck building UI where we can see the rest of what we drafted. So this is going to be, again, the 6 rares. Now, a lot of times you can look at these and kind of make some guesses about, okay, what might be powerful. With limited, you try to build around your bomb rares, the things that like really give you some impact. Now, the problem here is that none of these are really, truly, quote unquote, bomb rares. Like Beast Whisperer is fairly good. This is a great value engine. Firemind's Research is a cool build-around card, but a lot of times you don't get enough instants or sorceries to really get value out of it. And then we have 3 lands. Now, don't get me wrong, I need the lands for deck building, so I'm very excited to see these, but I'm not excited to see these as 3 of my rares in this sealed event. So, much like I said earlier, this is probably going to backfire on me because I committed to doing all of the games win or lose, but, I mean, there we have it. Now, the one thing that's like kind of interesting is we do also have this Chamber Sentry. So this is going to give us some bonuses for the different kinds of mana spent on it. And then we also have the Guildmage's Forum, which gives us a bonus if we're essentially cycling a mana through this on a multicolored creature spell, and then it gets a +1/+1 counter. So if we do get a lot of like lands and fixers, we might try to make that work. But we don't know what we have. So we're going to go ahead and hit continue, go see what the rest of our cards were. And typically what I do is I just go through really quickly and I try to think about the things that stand out, right? So 2 Healer's Hawks is actually pretty solid because they have evasion. And we have a good mentor card. This is evasion. Decent combat trick. This is pseudo removal. This is like the Pegasus Charger, but it has evasion. So right out of the gate, like, this white looks pretty solid. Candlelight Vigil is certainly playable. This is okay. This is playable, and that's playable. So the white looks, okay. We do not have a lot of blue. We only have 4 blue cards. They're not bad blue cards, and we got some that are, doubles, but that is not a deep pool for blue. In black, I like the Hired Poisoners. They're annoying. That's got evasion, lifelink. This is actually not half bad. Whispering Snitch, a couple of Vapors, never happened. Plaguecrafter is not half bad. So, and a Deadly Visit. So our black's not terrible as well, and we certainly have a lot more variety than we did with our blue. Let's go ahead and take a look at our red. Ornery Goblin is playable. We like Sure Strike, another Mentor card, and just the Boar. So, not a lot going for us there. Green, we know we have the Beast Whisperer. Prey Upon is like pseudo removal. Beetle's not bad. It's like a buffed up Grizzly Bears. I like this because of the versatility. I think I just said versatility instead of versatility. I apologize. It's pretty late as I record this. But the point here is that I do like this card because destroying a creature with flying is important, but because this also can destroy an enchantment, and this is a set where like Luminous Bonds is floating around, there's the blue card that'll tap your creatures down. Sometimes you can use this to free up a creature, which is nice. Similarly, Sprouting Renewal falls into that same vein. This can either make you a creature or get rid of some of those pesky things. So I like both of those. And oh, we got 2 of the worms. So now we're gonna take a look at our dual cards. But right now, if I had to guess, like white green is probably our best base to start with, simply because we have a really good set of white. We have a decent set of green. If we were going to splash anything, it might be black, and we'll have to take a look at what our dual colored cards are before we go down that path. So the thing that makes me sad here, we did get a Darkblade Agent, we got a Whisper Agent, and a Nightveil Predator. Nightveil Predator is a house in Limited, but our blue is just not very good. So, like, as much as I want to play this, our blue was not very good. Swarm Guild Mage is pretty solid, so if we were again looking for stuff to splash, that's got some possibilities, along with the Rhizome Lurcher. Fresh-Faced Recruit is a quality card, and like if we're being honest here, we're really strong in white, and this is just as good as a white card, so we will likely end up playing some of those. Maybe the same thing with this. Now we do have some good red-white cards, so if we're also thinking about colors to splash, we could just splash red and take some of our better red options, because this Guild Mage is great. This is a great source of removal. I like this just because of the evasion, so we have a strong shot at just splashing red potentially as well. This one is okay. I mean, sometimes if you're playing aggressively, you don't want to give each player 4 life, but it's not bad. We did get a Locket in Celestia if we wanted to use that for some fixing or additional card draw. And the Convoke guy is playable. Again, we have our Sentry. So this is probably still playable, even if we end up just going 2 colors. It's looking like we're going to go 3 and just splash something. But, you know, paying 2 for a 2/2 that you can later activate to deal 2 damage to any target isn't like the end of the world. I like this Gargoyle, but it'll depend kind of on how many gates we're playing. We got a Glaive of the Guild Pack. Gets +1/+0 and Vigilance and Menace for each gate you have. So again, if we do the gate thing, maybe. Got a couple of guild gates there. Got a Boros Guild Gate as well, and a select. Wow, we got quite a few gates if we really wanted to go that route. And we did also get that Sacred Foundry. So the fact that we have these tells me that we're pretty okay, you know, at the end of the day with trying to splash red. If we want to include these and the Fresh-Faced Recruit. So now, just so that we can speed things along, we're going to start putting in some of the things that we think are really powerful that we want to include. And we know that we want to include that. We'll go back to our green cards here. Beast Whisperer, definitely good enough to include. We like these. I like the Beetles. We might come back for this Prey Upon in a little bit. In terms of red, out of the stuff that's there, I'm going to include the Bodyguard for now because the Mentor on that is very, very strong. We might come back and also include something like Sure Strike, but I also want to take care of our white options before we get too far. Pretty much all of the white options that either have Mentor or Flying are going to be included. And I do like the Vigil. And so at this point, we're already up to 39 out of 40. And we still have not included our other lands yet. So we also have Hammer Dropper. Again, we have the Pacemaker, the Vigilance guy. We'll take a look at our curve here in a minute and see how we feel. So we'll go ahead and put our fixers in there, and it'll kind of auto change our configuration around. So let's go ahead and take a look at our curve. 7 2-drops is great. 17 creatures. I like to have a minimum of like 15 or 16, and anything more is better. More bodies is typically better. Not a lot of like late game threats. These are our 2 worms. So if we have a couple more expensive cards, great. You know, not the end of the world. We are at the moment running 3 guild gates. I mean, we could also opt for that if we wanted. So running something like the Sentry still stands out to me. Running something like Gargoyle, because this could be as much as a 6/6 for 6. That stands out to me. Again, kind of looking through. We had the Hammer Dropper. And then in white, we also have this Pack Beast as a potential like bigger threat. So of those, I think the ones that I like the most are the Gargoyle, maybe the Glaive, again, just because we have the 3 gates, but we don't have a good way to pull them out. And yeah, I mean, I do like all of these where we're at. The Sentry, again, is also a potential option just because, you know, we could make this essentially be a 3/3 that could sacrifice itself and deal 3 damage or something. But given the way our curve is, I really like the idea of a big Gargoyle. The downside is because it's an artifact creature, if other people are running artifact removal, they can kill this as well. But, you know, even if we don't have gates, and this is just a 3/3 flyer, sometimes that's enough. Flying is really important, but I like the idea of this potentially being a 6/6 flyer for us. So we're going to go and do that, and then I'm just going to go through and kind of double check what our split is in terms of colors, because we were running 1, 2, 3, 4 red cards, because this is technically white in my mind. So with 4 red cards, 2 gates and 3 mountains is probably fine. Meanwhile, with the green, we have a small handful of green, but we have some that have double green. So there is a part of me that almost wants to take the mountain down by 1 for another green, but we do have 4, 5, 6 sources of green. White, very important as well, but we don't have any double white needs. Not a huge fan of this color split right now. Not a huge fan of this color split, just given that how this is so high. Now, granted, there are some here, right? But like this is so high, just makes me a little bit weary about this having a 3 of and this only being a 4 of. Sometimes when I'm doing these decks, I will admit there are times where I will run 41 cards and I'll just also include a locket, just because it does help with fixing in terms of color and mana, and because it can draw you 2 cards. And I'm actually kind of tempted to do that here, because we're at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to include 1 locket, just because that will potentially help us with our fixing with this like 3 color split. And we're going to go with the old 41 card special. Now, I was running 41 cards when I went 7-0. For my other sealed event, so maybe 41 cards is my good luck charm, who knows. But I did the same thing there. It was not a lock at that time, it was actually a chromatic lantern, because again I wanted fixing for my 3 color deck. But I think that this is probably correct here, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit done. And now you guys have seen me build this, and that's gonna be it for this video. It's just the deck building. I wanted to talk through my train of thought, my reasoning, and then the future videos are going to be the games played. So, you know, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I hope that you will follow up and continue watching the rest of the series, and I hope to catch you in the next video.